I think I've cracked the code to the algorithms with social media and content creation. Specifically YouTube, no. But we're going to talk about YouTube today. Okay, what are the secrets? This is what my head was thinking about today, so I'm making a video. Think of the algorithm as an employee of, we'll say, YouTube. And think of the algorithm as a panel of judges, kind of like Shark Tank. And your content, your video, is the product you're selling. So what they need to know is, okay, what's your title? Title. Boom. They're like, okay, I'm intrigued. Description. Your title description or video description. Okay, it puts the title into context. Gives me a little bit more without giving the video away. Okay, now the algorithm will read the transcript. It better deliver on the title and description. If it does meet those two or three, then it moves on. It's ready to push your content out there. Okay, awesome. Well, how does it know where to push your content? Well, based on your title and what you put in there, right? SEO, search engine optimization, it will push it towards what it thinks it should. But you need to help it a little bit, right? You need to help it with hashtags. Help it along to get it in the right spots. Obviously, you have to use the correct hashtags for this to work. There you go, the next step. Okay, they decided to take your product on and push it out to stores, right? Your product in the stores is social media. The stores are us, the audience. Okay, well now you're an oversaturated market most likely, depending on what you chose. So how do you separate yourself? How are you going to stand out on the shelves? Okay, how am I going to stand out on the shelves? Well, a thumbnail. So the next stage is your thumbnail. And your thumbnail also is your headline, which is your title, right? And you can put like a subheader. So we're copywriters. I'm on a copywriting channel. That's what I talk about from a copywriting marketing standpoint. So for us copywriters, this should be very easy. Very easy. Why? Because picture your title is your subject line, your job description, your video description is your subheader, and the body of, say, your email or web page is basically your video, right? The body, the meat and potatoes. Are you going to deliver on the things you just talked about? If it's an email, you got your subject line. Are you going to deliver on that? Okay, so we've talked title, move to video description, move to the transcript, the main body. You pass those tests that push the stuff out, but you want to help it with hashtags. It got it in front of the right eyes, hopefully trending, what have you. Now, your thumbnail, which we just discussed, is your title over again with maybe some catchy colors, what have you. You need to drag them in. You have to have a good marketing strategy, and that is also a packaging, right? You got to package your product, and that is your thumbnail. So now you're packaging your product, the next step, because now the audience is just like the algorithm, and they want to be intrigued to move to that next step, and that's clicking on your thumbnail. So now you've pulled them in, they've clicked. Now you're on to the next stage. And what is the next stage? You are basically repeating the process over again. You have to draw them in the very beginning, talking about the title, going into a little context, and now delivering on what you said you were going to do. Now, if you did that properly, doing pretty good. But guess what? It's not over, not even by a long shot, because the next part will be two things, I guess, to start with. Video editing, no, three things. Video editing, right? So, okay, video editing, which I mean like shortening stuff. So if you say a lot of ums, like what I just did here, I could cut that out, right? I could fix that problem. But it's also if there's spaces in between, you can kind of shorten them up. Maybe you do a zoom on like something that you want to hit hard on. Obviously, I'm not editing. This is raw in a parking lot, me recording in my office. You also want to bring energy, right? So if you don't have video software or editing software, and that's okay. As long as you're bringing energy to the video, you should be doing all right. Now, if you have the next step and you got an editing software, you don't have to break the bank, but you can turn around and you simply just learn how to do cuts, right? Do fade ins and fade outs with some cuts so there's not long pauses, and maybe a couple of zoom ins on hard hitting points, and even use some pictures that basically say what you're trying to say in words, but it's entertaining, right? People like entertainment. If you can deliver on those things, guys, you should do well, but it's just going to take time. Don't expect, oh, I did everything you said and it didn't work. Oh, you're full of crap. This is what I'm learning. If you're watching this long, awesome, thank you. Like, subscribe, and even comment on what you might want to watch later. But I'm just learning this. This just came to me a half hour ago, and I wanted to make a video about it. I don't particularly use teleprompters and stuff, not as yet, because I'm new. Would I? No, I would probably use a bigger computer screen behind my camera. That way I can use bullet points to just touch on it, and I don't look like I'm looking off screen necessarily, but a teleprompter is really hard for me. It's just not my thing, at least as of yet. As far as editing, obviously I'm not even editing this video, but I do have a simple programs. You can spend like 20 bucks a month. They do have some free stuff out there, but you'll be limited. About 20 bucks a month. It's an investment, but if that's something you're serious about, I would do it. And on that editing software, you should be able to make thumbnails. All you gotta do is web search something, screenshot the thing. Obviously, disclaimer, be careful. Some stuff you're not allowed to do that with, but put some words on it that's going to be your title to draw the people in. You don't have to put your face on it. I like to use pictures that have to do with what I'm talking about. One of my other videos, like, you can use, it was about 9 ways to building trust, and it has to do with copywriting and trust with your brand and your brand and service, etc. And I just used a picture of somebody helping, 3 people helping each other up the side of a mountain, and that's, portrays you trust each other enough to do that. So I like to do that. And this one, the thumbnail has just the YouTube in the background just to make it a little more eye-popping. So obviously you want to intrigue people that way too. So this is a learning process for me also, guys. Come along with me. Let's learn. I'm not sure if you got anything out of today's video, but I really hope you did. Like I said, like, subscribe, leave a comment, and share this to somebody that you think might actually get something out of it. Thank you for coming along. Until next time.